During the press conference, Marape highlighted the ongoing peace process in Bougainville, which has been supported by the United Nations since 2001.
Pivotal moments of our own nation's life, especially at the backdrop of the Bougainville peace process. The United Nations has had a strong hand in ensuring that the peace process was maintained all the way through since it was birthed in 2001. And so the United Nations' role was acknowledged. The Bougainville issue was placed there in the heart of the United Nations in the context of the last leg of the peace process remaining.
He emphasized the importance of forestry resources in the context of climate change discussions currently taking place on a global scale.
Our conversations also touch on Bougainville, touch on our forestry resources. I put it to him clearly that our forestry resources cannot be downplayed in the context of the climate change conversations that is taking place. The climate change conversation and forest conservation are two sides of the same coin.
Marape outlined a vision for the next 20 years of the country's development, focusing on transitioning from a raw material producer to a manufacturer-based economy.
The meeting was concluded. I want to indicate also you may have picked a snippet of our government's indication to the world that the next 20 years coming up for us is important. We want to migrate away from a nation that is exporting raw produces to a manufacturing-based economy. Consistent with, obviously, our Vision 2050 outlines that Somare set in 2010, our nation's intention to move into an economy that is manufacturing-based.
He announced that the government will present updated human development indicators to the United Nations next year.
Those will clearly outlay to the United Nations by next year. Next year, our country will give our scorecard, our human development indicators scorecard. That's 5 years short of the 2030 requirements by all nations to submit our HDI reports. We will do a second review this year towards next year, and we will present our second review reports to UN by 2025.
The Prime Minister assured the people of Papua New Guinea and the United Nations that the country's economy is aimed to make a significant stride in the near future.
Good to be back home. I want to give assurance to our people that leaders do work long hours, and we are time bound. As you saw, I gave assurance to the United Nations that by the next 20 years, Papua New Guinea will grow economy. Papua New Guinea will make a massive stride, and with this body of leaders have given us ourselves this timeline.
James Guken, National EMTV News.